Welcome in ranking of Silkshot tools. Few days ago I did charms from Hollow Knight and now gonna do tools. This video will be kind of an upgrade compared to previous one because this time I will show clips from the game about how I use tools. Aside of three of them because I don't have access to those. Starting with Straight Pin. Straight Pin is a red tool found in the Morrow. First red tool in the game you can get. As a first tool, I barely used it. My main issue is obviously the shard cost, and I prefer keeping shards for wishes. And now I'll put Straight Pin in B. It's a fine first tool. Next one, Threefold Pin. Threefold Pin is a definitive upgrade to Straight Pin. I really like Threefold Pin. It's accessible relatively early on because you gotta just get Clank Grip and go to the Crow Lake. And I will put Straight Pin even in S tier, at least for now. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna change though later on, but right now I'm putting Straight Pin on top. Slingshot. I never really used it a lot, but there is one thing which I don't like about Slingshot. In the reveal trailer it was shown how Hornet can bounce off the Slingshot, but it's impossible to do it in the game. Don't bother, I tried. And I will put Slingshot even below Straight Pin. Problem with Slingshot that it has to be in contact with enemy, and for slower enemies and groups it does wonders, but for faster moving foes it kinda falls off. Tacks. Oh my god, I love Tacks. Tacks are awesome. They deal insane damage. They belong in S tier. Throwing like 4 Tacks can kill those gloomy enemies in the abyss, those big ones that spit void, and those weird enemies that go on Hornet's head. Next one, Longpin. Longpin is really awkward to use. It has this weird arch. The good thing about it is that it can pierce, but even if it can pierce, I barely use it because it's really hard to throw it effectively. It's accessible early on because you gotta just go to Shellwood and just go to Shellwood. I will put Longpin in D tier. It's really awkward to use. This one was called Curveclaw, I think. I never really used it because I was getting in my first playthrough stuff from that weird score pretty late compared to most people, I think. And I didn't really use Curveclaw much. I've seen that the claw can be bounced off Hornet's needle, and it's really cool to play with, especially that it can pierce quite a lot, and it has really nice area it can hit in. So I would put it even above Straight Pin, because I think it's just stronger than the Straight Pin. And if you can get to Hunter's March early, you can have it early. Now upgrade for Curveclaw's upgrade, Curvesickle. This upgrade is a bit too little too late, because at that point, when you get the upgrade, I bet most people already have tools they stuck with. Maybe those are Tacks, Cogflies, Voltvessels, Flintslate. So I would say I would put it even lower than Curveclaw, because it's a bit too little too late. Throwing Ring. The only good thing about this tool is that it makes your taunt not consume silk at all, but using it as a weapon kinda sucks balls. I will put it in D tier above Longpin, because it's still much easier to throw a ring than a Longpin. Pimpillo. Pimpillo was my favorite red tool to use in my first playthrough. It was so fun. However, Pimpillo has its problems with small area of effect, and it doesn't deal that much damage and has small capacity. I still think it's a lot of fun to use it though. I will put Pimpillo in A tier, because it's just so fun. I still wish it got buffed a little bit, would really benefit from it. Conchcutter. Conchcutter is really good, especially that it can hit one enemy several times. However, I usually have trouble with aiming this tool. I'm not sure. I never had trouble with aiming Pimpillo, even though it has an art of effect. Throwing a Pimpillo is kinda like throwing a grenade in Dead Souls. I'm an expert, but Conchcutter goes usually down, and I have trouble with aiming it perfectly, because in good hands is really strong, but in my hands, it depends. So I will put Conchcutter in A tier, because it has really good pierce and it can bounce off the walls. Now are 3 variants of Silkshot, starting with Forge Daughter. I never used it, because in my first playthrough I already knew about repairing the broken tool in Mount Fae. One of those was shooting a barrage of bullets, and I think it was the one from 12 Architect, and the one from Forge Daughter was shooting like regular Silkshot but worse, so I will do it like this. 12 Architect will go there, because Silkshot also consumes silk aside of regular red tool uses. Forge Daughter 1 will go below Throwing Ring, and regular Silkshot, I will put it in A tier above Pimpillo. It's a lot of fun to shoot a bullet at the most annoying enemies. It's my favorite part about Silkshot. Delver's Drill. I was never really a huge fan of Delver's Drill. I mostly use it for the Huntress quest. I think Delver's Drill might be good for people who like how focus in Hunter's Crest works but have a hard time using a pogo, and Delver's Drill just goes straight down. So I think I would rather I will put Delver's Drill above Conchcutter. I think it's fair for it. Next one is the Cog Wheel, and I never used Cog Wheel much, because in my first playthrough I had trouble with crushed metal. September and October is already so long ago. I don't remember that stuff from that time. From what I know, it's quite a strong tool for the moment it's gotten in, and I was playing it a bit later on, and I will put the Cog Wheel. I have harder time ranking those tools than I had ranking charms. I will put the Cog Wheel below Pimpillo. Pimpillo is just accessible really early on. I mean, Cog Wheel is relatively early too, you just gotta go to Underworks, but I don't know, I prefer Pimpillo. Cogflies, yeah, we know where this belongs. Everyone who plays Silksong knows how strong those babies are. Rosary Cannon, well, hollow points got added to the game, one way or another, but this tool is just not that good, especially that you gotta shoot your rosaries at enemies. I mean, how you're supposed to use the Rosary Cannon when you're broke through most of the playthrough, and there's a lot of things to buy for rosaries. I will put Rosary Cannon in C tier below Curveclaw, because it's available before Curveclaw, and I think it's relatively fun to use a small minigun and shoot at enemies, even though the price is pretty high. And why are Voltvessels variants separate? I think Voltvessels are really great tool, and I would put Voltvessels, well, I start with the Ballvessels, and I will put it above Threefold Pin. Those deal great damage. The second one is the spear version, and I remember there used to be a way to get to Balehaven to get Seeker Soul through ducts, but it was patched out, and I never got to try it before it got patched out. I will put the spear version in S tier as well, but below the balls version, because I think the balls version is easier to aim. Flintslate, it's a perfect tool for people who play aggressively, which is definitely not me. I usually go for focus than playing aggressively, that's why I'm playing most time with Hunter's Crest. But I can't deny, Flintslate is really strong. I will put Flintslate below Voltvessels, because I personally think I would choose in my playthrough Flintslate over Threefold Pin, but Voltvessels are much more fun to use. Snare Setter, I never used it as a tool, but I know it can be used as a tool to set a trap, but most people, at least I think most people, got it just to get Silksong Soul Wish finished. From what I've seen, it's not strong, like not at all, and it's a tool you lose. Same thing is with the needle for the Xylotol quests. I will put Snare Setter below Longpin. Flea Brew, it's a perfect tool for people who do speedruns with Curious Rasher. I've seen people going from down to the top with Curious Rasher, and Flea Brew is a go-to tool for those. But as I mentioned earlier, I'm not the type of player who also plays aggressively, and Flea Brew increases the attack speed of Hornet's Needle. My issue with Flea Brew is that to refill you gotta go to the Flea Caravan, and in Act 3 they are in Pale Lake, and getting to the Pale Lake through docks is not fun at all. It has a relatively big capacity though, but still. And I personally would put Flea Brew below the Cogwheel. And now we get the only one defensive red tool, Plasmium Phial. It's really good for bosses where you can get a Magma effect. Like, it really helped me with Growl in my first playthrough, same with Lgoli. I will put the Plasmium Phial right below Flintslate. Plasmium Phial has the issue which is also apparent in Flea Brew, which requires going to a specific place to refill it, but at least in Act 3 you get a gland from Xylitol and you don't have to do it ever again. And the last one is the needle, which is for the quests. Why am I supposed to put it in here? It's temporary. Getting it for Zango is perfect. So I'll put it below the Longpin. Unlike Snare Setter, it has an effective use in some place at least. With red tool done, let's get into blue. Druid's Eye is basically a Silksong version of Grab Song, and as a tool that is available early on, it's pretty weak, I will be honest. I'll put it in C tier, cause it's still better than nothing. Druid's Eyes is an upgrade to Druid's Eye, which from what I've seen has a double effect, cause Druid's Eye gives a single green strand of silk, and Druid's Eyes gives 2 of them. It's still a tool which is about getting hit, and I think I will put it only slightly above Druid's Eye. It just has a stronger effect despite it's still relatively late for it, but still a double effect. Magma Bell. How am I supposed to rank a tool which is situational? Like, it's only useful in like 4 areas in the game. Underworks, mainly the Cauldron, Marrow, but most people just don't have it in the Marrow because it's available in Deep Docks. And Farfields is situational, but it still has some uses. I will put Magma Bell here below Sting Shot. It's funny because both are available in the same place. It was definitely meant to be. Warding Bell. Warding Bell is really cool. A tool that can block damage while binding is really cool, especially that the effect of Warding Bell is still apparent few seconds after Hornet finishes the bind. So Hornet can heal, and even after she healed, the Warding Bell effect might hit. It's really cool. And I will put Warding Bell in A tier below Pimpillo. It's just that good. Pollip Pouch. Kind of the Pollip Pouch problem depends on which tool you're gonna pair it with. Like, it has the least effect with Pimpillo, but with tools that have a high capacity, like for example Threefold Pin or Cogflies, it's pretty good. I mean, Cogfly don't have a big capacity, but those can hit several times. It's available early cause you gotta just do the Rite of the Polyp quest, so it's post Sister Splinter. I will put it below Warding Bell. I really have troubles with ranking those tools. It's weird to compare blue tools to red tools, both of them serve a different purpose. Next one, Fractured Mask. I've seen people praising this tool to death a lot, and I don't get why, cause yeah, it can block the last hit once, but I don't know. I don't think it's that much useful. It's still better than nothing, so I will put the Fractured Mask, I think on top of B tier. I think it's fine. Multibinder. Multibinder is great. Like, getting this one extra mask is really good. Multibinder is something what Deep Focus will never be. A good tool. Especially in one patch, it got above that. First bind knocks off maggots, and the second one heals Hornet for 2. And I will put it even above Cogflies, cause I'm really used to play needle only. Weavelight. Weavelight is really cool, especially when you go for a spell build, because it gives a 4th silk strand gotten from silk husk and accelerates the way those regenerate in. And I will put it below Pollip Pouch, because it has kind of similar problem like Pollip Pouch. It's good when you go in a build for it. Sawtooth Circlet, it's a monster in good hands, not mine because I don't play aggressively. I don't know where to put the Circlet. I think I will put the Circlet at the bottom of A tier. Injector Band. Injector Band accelerates the speed of the bind, and it's really good for some crests, especially the Beast. And I will put the Injector Band right below Multibinders. Multibinder. There's one. Spool Extender. When I have a spare blue tool, I usually put Spool Extender there. Like 3 extra silk strands that can be kept for longer. It's something I really enjoy. It really helps with silk management. And I will put the Spool Expander. And I will put the Spool Extender even above Voltvessels. I really like it. Reserve Bind. Reserve Bind allows Hornet to use a bind one more time even when she's out of silk. And I think it would really benefit from about that. If Hornet heals with full HP, she could make another reserve bind herself. I think it would make a lot of sense. But judging by the tool it is, I think it's rather weak. A bit of a waste of a blue tool, I would say. And I will put the reserve bind even below Druid's Eye. It's available late in Act 2. And its effect isn't as strong. Claw Mirror and Claw Mirrors. And here we are with another one tool which is good when you go totally in a build for it, which is basically Witch Crest. And I will put it even below Weavelight, because those I personally really rarely see people use them outside of the Witch Crest build, but they're pretty strong on their own as well. Memory Crystal. Nobody uses it, it's pretty garbage. Concept is cool, but it's useless as heck. I still would prefer having it over Longpin. Snitch Pick. Garbage. It was the tool which allows to knock from enemies, rosaries and shots, but it doesn't increase drop from them. Filament. Filament is really strong, especially when you go for a Shaman Crest. Is definitely the most useful when you get it with Architect. Jokes aside, I will put Filament above Spool Extender but below Tacks. Quick Sling, a tool found in Water. It's really good for Architect Crest builds because it allows to throw 2 red tools at once, which I think is pretty strong, especially with how many tools you can have with Architect. However, it goes again in the back of build tools. But I think it's weaker than those, because on its own, I don't think I would use it. And I will put it even below Magma Bell. Wreath of Purity, Magma Bell but for Magmagot areas. And I think it's even more crucial, because Magmagot block the healing. I rarely explore fully Magmagot area before I get it. It's mandatory. Long Claw, Mark of Pride button Silksong. I mean, it's alright. It gets an S tier. Wispfire Lantern shares my problem with Glowing Womb, which is taking away silk. From what I've seen, Wisps deal pretty nice damage, but it doesn't change the fact that it takes away silk, and this is something I cannot forgive. But on the other hand, it is a way to beat all bosses with only Wispfire Lantern, cause, well, Silk Cards, Weavelight and Wispfire Lantern. I will put it below Rosary Cannon. I have such trouble with ranking some of those tools. Charms were easier. I go Flelia, Spell Twister but worse. It's good as long as you don't get hit. If you get hit, the effect goes out the window into the abyss. It's good for Shaman builds when you don't heal, but when you gotta heal, it becomes really unreliable. And I will put it below Reserve Bind. Pin Bad. Pin Bad should have been a yellow tool. Blue tools are really strong and competitive. There's a lot of good ones. But yellow tools are mostly like garbage, and this tool would benefit from being one of few relatively good yellow tools, but judging it by being a blue tool now, it's getting a C tier and gets a buff Razor Bind. I really like that. Depending on the crest, the needle strike changes. Pinbudge being a blue tool, already a no from me, especially that it's only in Act 3, and in Act 3 I personally was already with my dream tool combo being Multibinder and Injector Band. No place for Pinbudge there. Compass, savior for new players, for more experienced players it becomes useless, same rule as Wayward Compass. It's only a yellow tool, so it doesn't take much space. And I will put it in the bottom of B tier. I mean, it's a yellow tool after all. Short Pendant is a perfect tool for all those people who play with Architect. And I will put it above Wreath of Purity. It's a yellow tool, it doesn't take a lot of space and have pretty alright effect, I guess. Tools are so weird to rank. The tool balance I think is much worse than the charm balance. Next one, Magnetite Brooch. I wish Magnetite Brooch was connecting together shards and rosaries and they would fly all towards Hornet. It only takes two Hornet rosaries, which yeah, it's alright, but I will put it in A tier below Circlet. Weighted Bell, one of those good yellow tools. It's a steady body, but kind of worse. Like in previous video I was saying that I don't like playing with steady body because it locks the character in place and I'm used to going forward, but Weighted Bell reduces the knockback from attacking and it's pretty much alright. And it goes below Magnetite Brooch because I personally play with Magnetite Brooch much more. Barbed Bracelet, 25% for getting double damage. It's not worth it, it will never be, unless you'd never get hit, but no. I personally find it not worth it and I will put it at the bottom of D tier, because it still has some use. Deadbug Spurs. What's the point of this tool? Nobody uses it. Like, keeping after death half rosaries is not as good. Shell Satchel. Shell Satchel is actually really good. Problem with this tool is being only a Steel Soul exclusive. It should have been always replacing Deadbug Spurs. Now that I look at Deadbug Spurs, it kinda looks like butt. But Shell Satchel is really good for Architect builds. And I will put it even above Shard Pendant. Magnetite Dice. It's funny cause the chances for the effect of the dice are lower compared to Carefree Melody, but people are praising Magnetite Dice to the bone, because Magnetite Dice don't occupy as much space as Carefree Melody, because like Carefree Melody takes away free term notches while dice only take a yellow tool slot and are basically the best yellow tool in the game. And I will put it, I think, even above Plasmium Phial. Like, it's a yellow tool I always use once I get it, and in the full Silkshot video I even got it from Lumble the Lucky and he became just Lumble. It was so intense playing with those dice. I was ultra focused while playing. Some time before I even started recording that video, I've seen a video which discussed how the game with Lumble works, and it really helped me because Hornet usually chuckles those dice in her hands, but once she does a slightly different animation, you gotta throw the dice. And it was something which allowed me to win. Scuttle Brace. It's so awkward to use. From what I know, there are some skips with it, but it's not that good. I will put it above Snitch Pick because it's got a bit of use, I guess. Ascendance Grip. Well, it's a somewhat useful yellow tool. Once you cling to the wall, you can cling for as long as you want. It's basically what people used Crystal Heart in Hollow Knight for. In my first playthrough in Hollow Knight, I was using this with Crystal Heart to cheese bosses I had troubles with. I did it with Lost Kin and Failed Champion. But where I would put Ascendance Grip? I think in A tier below Weighted Bell. Spider Strings. It should have been just an upgrade to the Needle-In. I mean, even as a yellow tool, its effect isn't as useful as it would be if it was an upgrade. so I'll put it in C tier below Ecophilia. Silk Speed Anklets. Perfect tool when you wanna traverse the furlong in the speed of light. Just fly from, I don't know, steps and run forward to Verdania. My issue with it is that it takes away my precious silk. I think that Hornet's running speed is enough. I mean, bonus speed is cool, but I don't need this much. And I will put it below Magma Bell. And last but not least, Thief's Mark. Well, for farming rosaries is really good. It has a downside of while getting hit takes away a bit of rosaries, but I was playing with it quite much, and despite getting hit, I was getting more than I was losing anyway, so I would say it's definitely worth it. I will put it below Magnetite Dice, mainly for that you still lose rosaries when you get hit. And I think that would be all from tools. It was really difficult to make, as tools balance is really weird, especially that they are separated into categories. I still think some tools should be swapped in their categories, like pin badge should be yellow, dice should be blue, reserve bind should be yellow as well, spool extender should be yellow too. Some really would benefit from being either reworked or buffed, such as Barbed Bracelet or Snitch Pick. Some shouldn't even exist, like Dead Bugs Purse, Dead Butts Purse. But either way, this is my tools ranking, and let me know what tools you like, and I didn't give it justice and put it like really low. See ya!